What does woke mean? Come on now. Putting in a pickup order at the Wingstop. I don't need these fucking.
504 to 505. We're off on the shoulder. I should be all set.
Yeah, I think. Good to see you, bud. I don't know. Woke weeds. Look it up. Thought it was a funny meme. Good for a thumbnail. Struck. It's been a long time. How you doing, Teresa? Getting ready to start driving down. I'm gonna stop at Maumee at Wingstop on the way home. Listen to the scanner on the way home. And maybe 15 minutes as Govea comes on. We'll see how well Rumble Studio Mobile does for us this time. Beverages. Well, beverages are part of the combo. Oh, she's the blue cheese. You got to pay for the dip too? God dang it. Beverages, drinks. Need another vacation? Hell yeah. I got one coming up next month for 5 days. Wednesday till Monday. We're going to a music festival called. We went to it last year called something Appalachian.
French on fire response is 1687 North Dixie Highway, 1687 North Dixie Highway at the Holiday Inn Express.
I always take an extra day to relax when I get home.
Fire alarm from smoke detector to punching the key holder. And time out 1746.
Time here. We have to wait to put the order in. Is it really going to take 44 minutes to get to fucking Wingstop? From here? $43 now. I got to tell them a different time. I think I just ordered it by accident. Gotta go.
I raise feet up and down the street.
I read his feet up and down the street.
Send a dispatch on the air to Dundee Fire Response. Party 1 to 123 Water Strat Commerce Drive, 123 Water Strat Commerce Drive, will be room 506 for a 75-year-old male with a high fever, not alert. Time out is 1748.
Go this way because it's faster. Supposedly. Hopefully they'll be super busy. Seems hard to pay for it. For some reason, it's not connecting to X anymore. I got to figure out why X isn't working anymore.
Central phone clear sewer telegram from service use was complete this call. We'll be responding to the fire alarm duty.
Pressure no sewer responding.
Oh, you check all in. Area.
Let me call them real quick.
Wingstop. Did you know you can skip the wait and order online? Visit us at wingstop.com or download our app.
I did.
Press 1 to place an order, 2 for store hours, or 0 for any other questions.
Working your butt off, eh, Jet? Oh, are they busy?
What kind of Wingstop could you hold, please?
I can.
Right now, our team is finishing up a fresh batch of cook-to-order wings and hand-cut fries. You can give us a second to take your order, or you can skip the...
Thanks for holding. How can I help?
Yeah, I've already put in an order, but I just noticed that the app isn't allowing me to have you guys wait for a minute. I'm not going to be there till like 6:35. And it says
Okay, what's
16
the
minutes. It's Doc.
Okay, hang on.
Hey, someone.
Okay, I got it down for 6:45.
Okay, thank you.
Is that what time you said?
6:30, 6:35.
Oh, okay. All right, got
Yep, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Sweet. It still ain't going to be ready. It ain't ever ready when I get there. I should have just let it go. But it said it'd be ready in 16 minutes. I was like, oh, God, no. I'm 40 minutes away. I'm trying to avoid this construction. I was just listening to the bullshit happening on 75 there.
Central 5822.
Unto
Can you put us back on the CFS ending in 5263, please? Central 1450, clear stop.
How's everybody?
Yes.
Check
No large commercial. Nothing showing at this time. Yeah, investigating.
Who did I miss? Effing Aja Struck. Nope, everybody. Someone.
250 from United States.
I haven't had Wingstop in a while. It just sounds good.
Dispatch from 504.
504.
Can you switch that dispatch screen? I'm the one on scene at 505. This one, that's clear.
I don't know why I can't stream to X anymore. The fuck, man. Trying to figure that out. You guys see the Trump and Elon Saturday Night Fever dance meme? It's fucking hilarious. Wish I could play media things on the mobile.
Personal District 1 News here. It is Priority 3 this time.
Just let me do the themes though.
Personal District.
Oh, ambulance. They in a hurry. And that's probably why the freeway's backed up. Since there was just a cop here. I don't see him no more.
30 Michigan Road.
Ooh, man.
Just when you're going to cancel. Be false one.
Look at this Corvette.
Pressure off when it should be clear to cancel.
It's pretty. Red Corvette.
Friends on air, heading in area southbound 75 at the 2, southbound 75 at the 2, be on the lookout for a gray sedan with an Ohio plate of King Charles Paul 8175, occupied by 4 people, are advising that they just cut her off and was from the crash, continuing southbound.
Yep.
Also line 1750.
That's a 2. It's a 2 mile marker. Come on, man. Where the fuck you going?
You get them in medical out here for you to show me up.
Fucking idiot. Alrighty. Let you know if anything cool happens. I wonder why that's Waze isn't detecting that accident yet.
Schedule dispatch for Ohio Ladder 1. Get the shows clear to see. Return to quarters.
County Residency.
Control 5082. These are a call her back, get a better address. These are all 3-digit addresses out here. Have a good evening.
You as well.
5879, credit card.
Clear copy on the next. (3292) Crucial Road, 3292 Crucial, cross of McKinney and Pelletier. C. McDaniel, reference to EIC and stolen by Virginia Cox.
Central 61, credit card.
Central 25882.
Go ahead.
Address is actually in B1261 Coletta, 1251 Coletta.
All right. Oh, fuck. Well, fuck. Road's closed.
U 900, that's a dispatch register.
That is there.
We're gonna have to make a left up here.
Shows dispatch.
Hey, baby.
Please, because we're scrambling here. And we're going to go through what happened at that conversation, at that all hands meeting. But something else happened, and this is wild, from Susan Crabtree. And again, if you're not following her, I highly recommend it on X, because she's telling us that there is apparently a Secret Service officer, okay, who was also at another event. Now, this man, the guy pictured below right here, we're going to read more about him. What does this guy look like to you?
Okay.
If you just open this image up and you just take a look at him, you passing by. What do you think? Well, I mean, obviously it says Secret Service right there on his patch. And there's a bunch of other cops standing around. And so he must be a member of the Secret Service, right? So that must be legitimate. Not exactly right. Here's how the story goes. So from Susan Crabtree, who has been doing some incredible reporting on this, the access has been amazing, says this man pictured below is not with the Secret Service. But he's wearing a Secret Service patch on his armored vest. It was issued by another federal agency while appearing to check a backpack in this photo. Now, as you can tell from the photo cut line, the individual was working at a J.D. Vance event in Michigan on August 7th. Now, the Secret Service was deeply concerned when I brought this to their attention. Said, that guy's not actually a Secret Service agent. Agency officials looked into the matter and issued an agency-wide directive against distributing Secret Service patches to other federal law enforcement officers to wear. So apparently it was another federal officer, but it wasn't a Secret Service agent. But they just gave him
90-second max wait. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, sure.
Already about 15, 20 into it.
Here's what the Secret Service said back to Susan Crabtree. They said the U.S. Secret Service became aware of a photo where a member of another law enforcement agency is improperly wearing a Secret Service patch. Corrective action has been taken, and guidance has been distributed to the workforce regarding the use of agency insignias. Now, Susan has since discovered that the individual in the photo is a Homeland Security Investigations special agent or officer. Yeah. Yeah. The same people who are all over January 6th, everywhere. And we couldn't do proper probes of them because they technically weren't a part of the criminal investigation. So they weren't really relevant to the criminal cases. So we didn't get discovery about who or what they were doing. All of it was limited by the DC courts to the FBI.
I think WHO could suck it.
In charge of this prosecution. And so what do you need any documents from Homeland for? And the prosecutor said, we don't need anything from Homeland.
Monkeypox, if you're fucking playing around with the wrong
and the judge said,
area of the wrong gender.
They don't need them. They have enough from the FBI, so you don't need them either. And we got no access to what HSI was doing. That's Mayorkas's goons. They mainly specialize in investigating transnational crime or creating riots and violations of the customs and immigration laws, whatever. They were also there reportedly at J13. HSI and TSA and other federal law enforcement agencies have historically and are continuing to assist the Secret Service with tasks like magnetometer screening and other non-discretionary assignments, whatever, to help ensure the security of those granted Secret Service protection, or to commandeer it, I guess, because there was no security, somebody got shot and killed. That said, no external agencies serve in direct protective or organizational capacities for the Secret Service. And so, here's what Susan says. I've personally witnessed Homeland Security agents, clearly marked as such, assisting at entry points at the RNC. We've seen them too, we've seen their pins. Now, my source who discovered, says Susan, this practice don't know who authorized it, whether it was limited to this event in Detroit or if it's more widespread. Just give the patches off to everybody else. But described any effort to impersonate a Secret Service agent as incredibly dangerous. Now, there's a massive security risk because if all someone has to do is make a fake Secret Service path and throw it on themselves, a patch, and throw it on themselves, and they walk right in. How are normal Secret Service agents supposed to be able to tell who that is? Ask one source in the Secret Service community.
So apparently everybody's social security number is out there. It's been hacked now. Like it hasn't already, but yeah.
Why did that happen? I'm curious. Now we're going to go through more from Susan.
Yeah, that's how it spreads through anal sex.
Because apparently there was an all-hands call at the Secret Service. Susan Crabtree reported.
Gotta get gas too. Shit.
On X for Real Clear Politics.
Shit, I need gas.
Says Secret Service Director.
There's a gas station right across the street from
right now.
Wingstop.
There's a conference call going on. Apparently, she's like in on it. And is pressing for a complete paradigm overhaul.
Are you going to be okay there, Gurney?
Got some killed, some shot, 2 other people shot, the president almost assassinated. We're going to have to change our paradigm. Oh, gosh.
It's okay. They're going to lock us down anyway over it.
And is advocating for major budget increases. We called that one, right? Didn't we? That they were going to be in Congress.
I think they were just reporting that they just had the first ever case of simultaneous monkeypox, COVID, and HIV all at the same time. I was hearing that earlier.
We're going to ask you to do more for less is over.
You got a patient with all three at once.
We can no longer operate with that. We're not going to ask you to work so hard, okay? We can no longer wear our people down. We have to win the day every day. We have to be in a state of readiness to be able to meet the environment. Yeah, like getting on roofs and showing up to briefings. It's real difficult. He says, I looked at Butler as an opportunity also to examine our own paradigm, to examine our own methodologies and to challenge our assumptions, to look at the new dynamic threat environment in which we're operating, to look at the demands in which we're placing.
Oh yeah, that'd be fine.
People. We're rising to this moment, says Ronald, to the Secret Service. And so I see this as not only a challenge, but an opportunity for us to make improvements, to learn from this so that it never happens again. Rose says, people are now getting the message. He says, you understand, we can't max out our people anymore, okay? We can't do that to you, and we can't not compensate you for it. He says, we've got amazing agents here. U.S. Secret Service special agents and employees who have great love for their country and great love for what they do. Candidly, the way we work people, it's just not sustainable. It's such a hard job, you know. And remember the other one that we read yesterday, with that Secret Service agent, I think one of the guards fell asleep in the guard tower, and like nobody cared. Actually, they got in trouble for taking pictures and making fun of that person. How dare you make us look bad? Okay, it's nappy time, right? Don't you intrude on that. So he says, and people are hearing that now. They're grasping it, and we are making that case now. And he's also
it's not been extinct for a long time. People have been getting plagued for a long time. I mean, it's usually well contained because we know how it spreads. You just got to make claims, stay away from those fleas, those rats with the fleas.
Interesting. Susan Crabtree. Roe, in a powerful and honest remarks, is now telling employees to build each other up. Don't tear each other down.
Games today
is the time for us to persevere, to survive. Look at your brothers and your sisters and the people who left and right of you. Look around.
Going on somewhere.
Look at your neighbors. Do this at home. Look at your neighbors right in the eyes. Your brothers and sisters. You're in this situation together. Build them up. Be better teammates. Said President Lincoln said a house divided will fail. We have to have unity.
I'm heading to Wingstop on the way home.
Now, just before those comments,
got a hankering for some chicken wings. Bone in.
Now, one thing I want to talk to you about is this. Imagine if you had a family member, maybe your father, your mother, sibling, or spouse, and they've dedicated their lives to being a core professional. They become a special agent or a uniformed.
Yeah, I know your point, bud. Yeah, I know. But
they made contributions, but somehow
they're real just like they said the same thing about smallpox and measles.
They view them
the vaccinations. As long as everybody takes all these vaccinations, it'll never come back.
If that somebody was special to you, I'm pretty confident you'd be upset by that. Now, I've been saddened by some.
Yeah, fucking $25, dude, for 10 wings.
By people who actually carried the same commission.
An order of deep fried corn and a Coke. $25.
God bless you all, and thank you.
But I ain't ate nothing since that.
Sounds like there is a division.
Coffee and biscuit this morning. So
some group of people are looking at another group of people and saying, "You guys are idiots, morons, losers, something," right? Inferior. That's my interpretation.
Their combos used to come with a drink, and I had to add that on top of it.
They've made contributions, but then they almost got everybody.
And then they want a tip.
And now, like, you're judging them.
When I'm picking it up,
they're still our teammates, even though they're in
they want $15 an hour, and they want a tip.
And failed their primary mission due to multiple levels of incompetence, if not outright intentionality.
Yeah, because they didn't know where the fuck it was coming from.
So be nice to the most incompetent.
They thought bloodletting would fix it.
In recent history.
They treated it with bleeding people.
Other bullet points. He said, others have control of our budget. Reference to Congress. He's blaming Congress. If we had a couple more $1 billion, this is going to happen.
Population could use a little bit of culling.
We don't have much control of it, but we have control.
I say don't lock anybody down for anything ever again.
That happened.
Just
protect Congress now.
Let nature take its course.
Secret Service protection. Yes, sir. Secret Service has tremendous support.
I hope they don't spit on my shit because I didn't give them no tip.
And all the senior leaders at the department, so we're going to get tons of money. Don't worry about it.
What the fuck?
Roe announces that he and his executive board, led by the COO, have put together a plan to meet the short-term needs.
Apparently, there's an accident up ahead. They want me to get off and turn around and go the other way in 475. Oh my God! Fucking everybody's driving like an idiot today. Yep, sure as shit. There's an accident up ahead. That's why it's so dead this way.
No recordings, no logs. There's not going to be any real inquiry here to determine what ultimately happened.
We got to get off, get back on.
And don't tell me that this is like new.
My wing's going to be cold. That's okay. I got an air fryer.
No, Secret Service. So we know. Now that we think about it, we should be recording their calls and recording their records. No, they've already deleted stuff from J6. They were on notice that Congress wants records, and they don't have them from an assassination attempt. It's insane. Now, the approach of saying
Yeah, it's
we're going
unusual
to
for
do
the
more
highway
with
to be
less,
this
or we'll
dead
take
right
care
here.
of you next year, he says that's over. Okay, that will not
Something's
happen.
going on.
We cannot continue to operate with that mindset. So you guys are going to get paid, and hopefully you'll save some lives now. Now it says that we have to have the people and the technology.
Dookie or Docky? Okay, that's what you said, Dookie.
To meet a dynamic threat environment, which includes the upcoming Olympics in 2028, which maybe you'll actually care about, and constantly evolving terroristic threats.
You used to be able to pick, like, hey, start have them available at this time, and they didn't do it this time.
It's about having that
I had to call them and say, hey,
total
delay that by 20 minutes. I'm coming from frickin'
When you
Monroe.
go to a site or we're operating in a city, you have to have total and complete.
So we're
awareness
wrapping
of
around the
what's
city
going
the
on.
opposite
Not only
direction
on the
now.
outside, but right up to stuff that they should have already known. It's like back to the basics. It's like, hey, we're in the Secret Service. Our job is not posting sunset photos on Instagram or taking napping time in guard towers. It's about providing security to VIPs that cannot get killed. Bro promised to increase the hiring. And
I heard about that.
Like they're going to learn about walking.
Isn't that something that what's his name was testing?
I guess.
Bill Gates?
Showing up to press briefings or not taking photos and posting them from the on-site security facilities. Rose says, we also have to strengthen our training infrastructure because in order to be able to have the best protection force in the world, to have the best protection facilities in the world, that's what we need. And so these conversations are not just about one single aspect of where we are as an agency. It's about making sure we're looking at this holistically and not just about the next 80 days or so, what's left of the election calendar. It's about setting the Secret Service up for success for the next medium and long.
Mitty's going deep diving into the conspiracy shit.
Now, this is very important. On the communications breakdown, what happened in Butler? Now he's addressing this. So this
I only believe it if Alex Jones says it.
Rose said
He's only missed
I've
one
already
so
started
far.
looking at this, okay? I've already directed.
And then he apologized for that one.
To start looking at how we can use a model.
A little bit too
similar
late,
to the White House Communications Agency. So we're going to change our model, which supports the Secret Service, but only for presidential or vice presidential events. He says the White House Comms Agency, he says, ensures that the U.S. Secret Service has connectivity. Okay, so we work with the White House Comms to make sure that we can communicate.
Ooh, there's a cop over here.
They ensure, the White House Comms Agency, but only for those two types of events. Okay, now we kind of have like a separation of powers concern. Because if the White House Comms Agency is an executive agency run by
Said there was one right up here.
they have
Let me see where you at. Where's you hiding, motherfucker? Must be gone. Must be had to have responded to that other call.
So the White House Communications Agency, he says, ensures that the Secret Service has connectivity, but it's only for the presidential and vice presidential events. But now they want to extend that onto.
I didn't say you were paranoid.
No, I guess I'm Trump as well. So they ensure that we have radio communications that are solid.
Don't stop calling me, peoples.
So that
I'll block your number.
We can actually talk.
Interrupted my show.
Says that some high-tech teams within the Secret Service, this is Ronald Wood talking to the whole agency, are working to ensure that teams' continuous reception and connectivity are working. Said they're already going out to campaign events for Trump Advance, and we're already implementing this. And they are meeting that requirement, okay? And we're doing that with a great job. But that's what we need to strive for. And that's just an example of how dedicated our personnel, says Rowe, are to making sure that we don't fail. So that model is going to be expanded. It's going to take investments. And we're having those conversations to say, this is what we need to be successful. Now, when it comes to interoperability communications, this was a critical issue that we were talking about from the day it happened.
Like they've never accidentally made mistakes with that shit.
And how is it communicated? Where are those logs? We can follow the chain of communication. He says, well, how about talking with local law enforcement?
Well, good thing there's never any standing water around my house.
The local PD that we're working with, diving into our radio network and just connecting the tubes. He said this requires investments. But I've already stood up a task force, says Rowe, that will be co-chaired by a Secret Service supervisor in the Protective Division in partnership with the CISA agency, another corrupt agency, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, which if you call was run by Chris Krebs, who came out and said, no, there was no fraud in the 2020 election, even though there was. And now hackers are saying, oh yeah, hack machines are just total disaster, but there's no time to fix them.
Didn't they release them like in Florida or
We're going
something?
to bring together FEMA.
As a test?
We're going to bring together other operational elements of the department. We're going to bring in state and locals. We're going
Remember,
to get
Defense
in
is
a
flipping
room,
out about
a
that.
small room, and set them up to monitor communications with our counterpart. So it's like, what do you mean? So wait a minute.
From Royal.
Did you not already do that? We thought you did all of that.
After dinner, I'm going to have me a nice little snifter of Traveler.
As a unified command, saying that it wasn't actually unified at Butler. She's pointed this out many times before, based on sources. People say, what kind of command center was this? They used it because it didn't seem like it was formal and it was unified as many other things are. So there are these other events, okay, they're called NSSEs, the National Special Security Events. She says, wow.
Emergency scene ahead. God
It
damn.
seemed like a unified command
What the
center.
fuck is going on?
It wasn't. Yeah, there really wasn't. And the reason this was so important is because they're on different frequencies.
It better not be the way I'm going.
So if the local cops,
Why the fuck ain't Waze updating me? Well, it did with the other one. Ramp closed. Okay, must be on the exit.
Hey, we have a suspect.
It must be
who's
heading north.
over on the AGR building, southeast corner.
All right.
The other
Hi,
secret
Dan.
service guy goes, oh, holy moly! What did he say? Okay, relay, local cops relay. We got a shooter here.
A good thing I ain't going to Ann Arbor.
Suspicious suspect on the southeast border.
Wait now, wait now.
And the look immediately, it's instant, right? Didn't happen. That apparently.
Here we
did not happen
go.
from Roe. He says, you know, we're going to put somebody in that command post, or we're going to establish our security room in partnership.
I already got a wife, and she knows how small my dick
It's the same
is. So
model that we use in national special security events. So why would we use? Why wouldn't we use it on our daily operations? I think.
I know. It's like every exit,
We're going to fix this.
every 2 exit I go.
So NSSEs are major events.
It's a new walk.
Considered to be nationally significant, and they may be designated by the president or his representative, as well as the Secretary of Homeland, as a special event.
You got to get off at Dussel
It is a
Drive.
special event.
It's called
Then
Dussel
they have a
Drive,
unified
South
command.
William
It's
Road.
not designated as a special event, so then they don't have a unified command. Roe concluded his
It's
remarks
creepy how little traffic there is right now. I will say.
159 years over the last 20 years has been tainted by security lapses and other serious misconduct, he's talking to his team. Now, despite the myriad challenges, Roe promises to get the job done because he says failure is not an option. He like failure again, and asks all of the Secret Service employees, including himself, to take care of each other. We can do this. He says people are listening, and we're going to get this done because failure is not an option. He says there's no other way to do this. We have to do all of us are here because of the ones that went before us. We all have a connection to the past. We've been around for 159 years, and we're starting our 60th year. Those folks that started us in 1865 probably never imagined. We're here because of them. The people that will come behind us will be able to do what they do because of what we do right now in this moment. It's going to take all of success, but I have confidence in all of you. And I ask that you have every confidence in each other because no moment is too big for us. We want to win because failure is not an option, and there's no other way for us to get out of this. Let us take care of each other, and God bless you.
Oh, wow. What's this? Motherfucker almost hit me.
So, an amazing report from Susan Pratt.
You handy clap?
That whole call. Obviously, we
Bitch.
are not going to get recordings or audio or anything like that.
You're fucking
That's
stupid.
what- But she certainly did. Great report. Now, here is more. This
She
is
fucking
the most
swung out, almost hit me, and
If you haven't already
she almost
followed,
pitted me
we're going to repost this right now at the top of our timeline in case you follow
so she
me.
could get in that
This
lane.
is a good one to follow and repost. The most important news from the Secret Service directors all hands meeting is about the fact that they did not have a unified command center.
Uh-oh.
Details.
Uh-oh,
The rally
white
that
lane
ended with
going
an
away.
assassination attempt was not
Get
even
over
talking.
here.
The security was not even talking with other security.
It's construction
There was
season.
no interoperability between the U.S. Secret Service and local law enforcement. I've been asking this question for a long time, but now we have an answer. They literally could not talk to each other that day, she reports. Real clear politics. It was completely siloed.
If you guys are being too doity for someone somewhere.
So there's a way to make it interoperable and to share communications? No. It appears as if a unified command center at rallies and events, which are made up of Secret Service supervisors and their local
Hey, Jack can handle it, doity.
we're limited only, right? Unified command centers, as a matter of policy, were only for NSSEs. This was not an NSSE. Those events are major events. New Yorkers would have to deem it as such so that they could actually talk to local law enforcement. They therefore did not include rallies or campaign events for Trump. So obviously, Secret Service and Homeland, including Biden and Mayorkas, were using outmoded protocols. She calls it beyond outrageous, and that's true.
I got my boiler. I use my boiler.
We're going to establish
Take out their window.
like we use it elsewhere. And we're going to bring together FEMA, and we're going to bring
They could
together
think
the
I'm shooting a
operational
gun.
elements of the department. We're going to bring
Really
in state
speak
and
aloud.
locals. We're going to get them into a room, small room, and we're going to set them up. And you guys are going to talk. Like, we're going to figure it out, right? It's like doing that, like, Michael Scott Solutions thing.
Ooh, flaming poop bags.
Do this. Yeah.
Here come the flaming poopies.
Michael Scott's stuff sometimes work though. Anyways, Fuller wrote, here's a Fuller quote. He says, we're going to bring in state and locals, get in a room, figure this out. Now, Susan was told that the Butler Secret Service
Why are you asking Chad? Ask me.
Box radio and 2 or 3 guys, maybe even a parked car. Okay, like it's not a command.
That's
center.
what's up.
Some guys just tinkering around, browsing Twitter, what's up. Says, we saw in Butler that failed us. So I've given directions to all the special agents in charge in the field. He says, we're looking at security rooms and command posts. If state and local partners have established a unified command post, we're going to put someone in that command post. Like we didn't this time. Like we didn't put someone in there before, but we're going to do it this time. Or we're going to establish a security room in partnership with that local command post. It's the same model, so why wouldn't we use it in daily operations?
Use the same motto.
And they were very sneaky about all of this.
Damn,
right?
I need to get gasoline.
Days of testimony from different people. People were asking what the command center was if they were talking, and Roe was saying, no, as part of our remedy, this is something that we're going to fix. So the Secret Service is just doing, I think, cover up right now. And threats continue to mount. Trump posted this. He was out voting in Florida, and he was asking some questions. He comments on the state of the race and about the break-in to his campaign.
Get in the circle of death.
His campaign officers, rather.
Great honor to vote. We've done a fantastic job here, and we appreciate it. We think we're doing very well. We just had a poll that shows we're doing very well, and we have an interesting.
Yeah, it's not on Gregory. We love Gregory.
North Carolina right now. We're going to speak on the economy. It's basically a speech on what's going on with our economy. It's gone very bad under this group of people with inflation, with the economy itself, and so many other things. The other thing we're going to talk a little bit on is crime. If you look at the migrant crime in New York, it's been out of control, and it is everywhere, as I predicted a long time ago.
Wow, Midwest has been a member for 9 months.
The people that have come in.
Way to go, me!
Millions and millions. I think it's close to 20 million. Maybe it's more than 20 million. And they shouldn't have been allowed to come here. It's causing a tremendous problem. It's causing death. And just it's been.
They're bringing the monkeypox.
Nobody's seen anything like it. And it's only going to get worse. They should not have allowed this to happen.
Bringing the monkeypoxes.
With that being said, I'm leaving for right now North Carolina. Do you have a question?
Yes, sir. What's the information about the confirmation?
Well, they're looking at it and they're doing it very professionally. And it looks like it's Iran.
Well, that's weird. There's no list tonight.
And a lot of bad
Looks like
signals get sent.
mass media has once again lied to everybody.
And the reason is because I was strong in Iran and I was protecting people in the Middle East that maybe they aren't so happy about that. So that's what it seems to be, Iran.
Oh no, look who became a member. Mitty gave Midwest Mountain Girl a membership. What a nice guy. Holy shit, how many did you fucking get? 10? Holy shit, Midwest, thank you. Eat your broccoli. Keith Anderson, King Charles, Ajot, JC.
We have a level of enthusiasm that nobody's seen before.
Back down to NH Bound Girl, Dark Horse. Picture Barkley said Cynthia, No Filter,
And
Farlap,
in many ways, a third world nation.
and Rockport Rights
Thank you
Enthusiast.
very much.
Yeah, I wonder if
Mitty,
it was
so cool. Thank you very much.
So that's
Woo, Mitty!
the assassination investigation shall carry on.
We love Mitty.
Have an update on the New York case from Judge Mercan. The gagging will continue. Judge Juan Mercan came out, issued another order extending the puppy all the way through the 2024 election, of course, because why should Trump be allowed to have his free speech as an American citizen, as a presidential candidate? Why should we have free speech, being allowed to hear from the presidential candidate, a right to receive information from somebody who's actually running? All of those things can be damned because Judge Mercan doesn't care. He wants you to not know anything about his corrupt family and daughter. Says,
Oh
Judge
my goodness,
Mercan
Zowie.
just ruled that I, the Republican candidate for president,
I'm the only one making the
am
F
leaving the
bombs.
polls
I
and
apologize.
still under a gag order concerning very
Believe me, the chat was much worse than the F bomb, though.
like the judge donating to buy.
But I'm sorry.
Celebrating Trump being indicted by her dad is cool. I am not allowed to answer reporters' questions, says Trump.
I didn't even know she still followed
Can you
me.
believe this? The New York courts refuse to act. This is happening right
Hey,
before
they followed me, but they got me blocked. That's funny. They're subscribed, but I'm blocked on their channel.
So much to say, I'm not allowed to say it. Must get the U.S. Supreme Court involved. New York is trying to steal the election.
All right, we're going to get gas before we pick up the wings. Because at least they're under a heat lamp. And I got my air conditioning on.
Arizona's doing the same thing. We have Griswold, Bellows. We have Jocelyn Benson in Michigan, who is trying to create a presumption of validity.
Jocelyn Benson in Michigan. My ex-wife's name was Jocelyn.
They're letting in illegal aliens all over the place. Many of them will vote. The ones
My
who
second
aren't going to
ex-wife.
vote as non-citizens are trying to make actual citizens so that they can vote hand over fist. So it's all attacks on the table time from the Democrats. And Judge Mercan is going to continue the big charade. Here's what he said in his decision in order. He says, all right, you're responding to Trump.
No, she's. I asked her if she wanted me to pick her up anything. She said she just ate right before she left work. So I said, okay, if you change your mind, it's going to be something good.
He said that we had a political and financial interest because this judge's daughter worked for Kamala and Joe, saying that it may result into a benefit to the court's family member, which is the judge's daughter. Now, before Trump filed this motion, the court had already written to the Judicial Ethics Committee to get a formal opinion, and they told me, you're fine. They're like, no, that's fine. Just make sure you put him in jail. And so they say, we already sent you a copy of that advisory opinion. So the judge says, I've got cover. I just talked to another, corrupt New York entity, and then they just decided that you're great. As long as you're prosecuting Trump, you can do whatever the hell you want. Ask Tish James. Ask Fannie Willis. They don't care.
They don't care.
You can drift away.
Glift away, he
Your
says.
lover, and no one cares in Georgia. They're like, yeah, you know what?
Keep the glifting going.
April 3rd, Trump filed a second motion seeking this court's recusal, raising no new facts or law. They again said, well, now we know that your daughter is going to be making a lot of money from this. She's posting Facebook ads
Niger.
celebrating Trump's indictment. The second motion for recusal was also denied from the bench before. So then on May 30th, we had a verdict, a unanimous verdict, 34 counts.
Oh, shit.
Coming up very soon.
I'll just go this way.
It says Trump didn't file any post-verdict motions, and on July 31st,
Which way is I don't remember which way Speedway
he did
is.
not seek leave for this, and so he justifies this motion. So
I'll just go to the other Speedway.
It's not very timely, but it's because of changed circumstances.
Ding, 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 ding. Let's pick up the wings first, I guess.
So Trump appears to present two arguments in this motion, although not entirely clear. They say
Oh,
Trump
we got a
is
red.
arguing
We got a red line now.
unjust and
We're going to
unconstitutional.
get fuel soon, buddy. Soon.
Rather, it would appear to be nothing more
Cutting
than
through the parking lot.
Now, Trump has litigated this before, and the court did modify.
In, but they're chanty hookers. Sound like a good time.
They allowed them to talk a little bit about this after.
Can we out parking?
Loosened it up a little bit. However, aside from this court's own modification, the order has remained undisturbed. Therefore, there's no way it's unconstitutional. Say the same thing.
All right, I'll be back. Wait back. I got to turn off the car because I'm running low on fuel.
And Warren Mercon, the judge's daughter, warrants recusal because the daughter worked for Kamala
Wait back.
and made money working for Kamala. The court notes that this same argument was already made. Yeah, you already said that we worked for Joe. She worked for Joe. But Trump contends this is even more egregious because now Kamala is the nominee. But the people's position is that the motion is vexatious and it's frivolous, says Bragg. And so the court says, I'm not even going to repeat myself, okay? I'm not going to repeat the same thing I said before. It suffices to say you've had due process and you're just repeating stale and unsubstantiated claims. It says, counsel has been warned repeatedly that advocacy does not come at the expense of professional responsibility. So basically the judge is saying, if you keep filing this, even though you've been denied, you're going to be in violation of your ethical responsibilities. Maybe we'll file a bar complaint, come after your license. With these fundamental principles in mind, the court now reiterates for the third time, which should be already clear, innuendo and mischaracterizations do not a conflict create. No, your daughter working for Kamala and Joe does. And you donating to Joe did. Donated twice, those spite donations, right? The worst. On the facts before us, we conclude that the judge's impartiality cannot reasonably be questioned based upon this, which is the advisory opinion. Now, as has been the standard throughout the pendency of this case, this court will continue to base its rulings on the law, and Trump has provided nothing new. And so therefore, since you're repeating yourself, this is rife with inaccuracies and unsubstantiated claims. Trump's motion is again denied. Judge Mercon doesn't want Trump to talk about his daughter's relationship with Kamala Harris or the daughter's relationship with Joe Biden or the fact that Juan Mercon donated to Joe Biden. None of this stuff about what the daughter said on podcasts about how the judge doesn't like Trump posting on X at the time it was Twitter, right? All of these biases Trump can't talk about because they're trying to rig the narrative in their favor, and seems like they're in support of Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is terrible. Trump was talking about her experience in the private sector and how she's been a part of an administration that's wrecked our economy. Here's what that sounded like.
Kamala Harris wants to be in charge of the entire U.S. economy, but neither she nor her running mate is the beauty, isn't he? He signed a bill. He wants tampons in boys' bathrooms. I don't think so. Tampons. But they've never held a private sector job in their entire professional careers. And it's no wonder they're both socialists. They're actually beyond socialists. I think they skipped over socialists. That's why I think when people find out, because you don't know who these people are, I think when people find out who they are, I personally don't think they can do well in the election. They've destroyed this country. What they've done, when you look at San Francisco, what happened to, and she was the one that started it years ago as district attorney. Then she was the attorney general of the state of California. California is a disaster now. Now, Gavin Newsom, very much, but it's a disaster. She was the one. This November, voters are going to give radical liberal Kamala Harris the opportunity to try something new. A real job in the private sector for the first time in their life.
That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good. Bye, Kamala. Go get a real job. All right, see you later. So that is the update.
You can't get out this way.
And we'll see. I'm sure Trump will appeal this again. It'll go up to the Court of Appeals in New York, and they'll not do anything about it. And we'll see if it goes
Okay, you used to be able to.
That's Trump.
I used to live out this way.
The drag shall continue. And And my friends, thank you for subscribing. We're going to continue to cover
They
this.
put a
case.
curb where a lane used to be.
So
You can
don't
see where it
forget to
ended, right
subscribe.
there where
Thank
that
you so
stop
much for
sign
sharing this
is.
with a friend or family members
Okay.
so they can come over and join us as this case continues, because we've got sentencing coming up very soon in September.
It was audio compression, dude.
Kind of hope they try. All right, we'll be here continuing to cover it. Now, let's
There's
see
video
what else is happening this election season. Because right now we've got
of it happening while he was on doing the interview.
Meta, Facebook, and Google saying
They were doing their own
you
little
guys
video
have
of it
requested censoring
while he was on
information related to
the
Dr.
call.
A couple letters went out. We'll take a look at them. The committee has long
Spaces
been
kinda
concerned with
sucks.
how they are censoring this.
It was the audio compression of his connection.
So here's what the oversight committee reported.
It's supposed to be like a 64K, and it was only coming across at like
Gather information. And there was
excuse
a
me,
big traffic
8K or
because
something like
in
that.
2022, Zuckerberg confirmed that Facebook censored the Hunter Biden laptop story. Remember that? This is true. All the social media companies did. And so they've got a history of doing this. And so now Congress is taking a look. Here's one
That is true.
that went out. You can see this is the one that went over to Google. This guy's name is Sundar.
I gotta get gas. We're gonna pull into Maumee and get some gas here.
From the oversight
So
committee.
we run out before we get there.
It says,
If we run out, we'll call roadside assistance and start eating our wings.
Oversight Committee's got some problems with you concerning reports about the autocomplete function, about the assassination attempt on Trump, telling us that Google users reported that autocompleted search results related to the assassination failed for assassination attempts for Trump, but they produced results for others like Harry Truman, Ronald Reagan, and the others, and even assassinations of people like Archduke Franz Ferdinand. But omitted from the list of automatically generated searches was Trump's assassination attempt. Now, the committee appreciates Google's prompt cooperation with our initial inquiry. Apparently, they gave them a staff-level briefing last week. Now, the briefing, however, after they actually met, raised additional questions, especially against the backdrop of an
Hey, bro, hello. What up?
and censorship peddled through technology and
Uh-oh, we got JC and a Hebrew.
So now we want more information. So they didn't like what they heard, obviously. So we can better understand how Google designs its product. Now, in response to preliminary staff inquiries, Google contends that the autocomplete results omitted the Trump's assassination attempt due to a safety protocol concerning predicted assassination attempts of current political leaders. And Google has not yet updated the autocomplete feature to reflect that an assassination attempt of Trump had occurred. Now, the
Oh my
committee-
goodness, this is taking forever. Gonna run out of gas at the red light.
The speaker thinks I'm talking to it. That's what that was. The committee has long been concerned with how large technology companies leverage their businesses to influence public opinion, especially the design and the use of content moderation within private sector social media companies, and how policies are shaped by the
Let's
executive.
go. It's green. I'd like to make the green light.
In 2022, Zuckerberg said, yeah, Facebook
Buddy, please.
censored the New York Times, New York Post
Buddy,
story about the
please.
Hunter Biden laptop because the FBI put pressure on them, saying you should be cautious of misinformation and foreign interference, and so they censored in grade 2020. So Twitter's decision to censor the story
Why?
also followed the company's
Right by the gas station. From here, I would push it if I went out.
February 8, 2023.
Oh my
The committee
goodness.
held a hearing
Oh,
entitled
I'm going
Protecting Speech
home.
from Government Interference and
Don't do
Social
it.
Media Bias to
Don't do it.
investigate
Don't
how
do
and
it.
why Twitter suppressed the story in the lead up to 2020 and how internal content policies had been regulated.
Ooh, him got a mask on.
A poll of Biden voters in 7 swing states found that 17% of them would have switched their votes if they had known about the Hunter Biden
All right,
laptop.
I'll be right back.
Following this effort, the committee
Turn the
advanced
power
and
back on.
House passed H.R. 140, the Protecting Speech from Government Interference Act, to stop federal employees from using their authority to influence the private sector. The committee remains wary about executive branch officials exerting pressure on technology companies. Now, Americans rely on internet search engines like Google to get the news, and never more so than during a presidential election. In fact, Judge Amit Mehta recently recognized that the brand Google is synonymous with search. He said in 2009, And I think this was the opinion from Meta that said Google is a monopoly. In 2009, 80% of all search queries in the United States already went through Google. That number has only grown by 2020, nearly 90%, and even higher on mobile devices at 95%. So on behalf of the American
How'd you
people, the
Quinn?
committee is dedicated to fully understanding when and how the information is being suppressed and modified. We don't care if it's a technical error,
Hello, Matar.
policy intended to ensure safety, or some specific intent to mislead. Bingo, got it. So to assist in our investigation, the committee requests that Google give us the following information. All internal policies related to how Google search is designed, reviewed, managed, and updated. You're not going to get any other stuff. All internal policies or any other documents related to how Google search autocomplete is designed and how it works with newsworthy events, and all internal policies about how Google search autocomplete might limit or preclude them because of its harmfulness or dangerousness. We'll see if they get any of that, or if they got it, if they know what to do with it. To arrange for the delivery of these documents, please call us. Sign your friend.
Don't call us. We'll call you.
We appreciate it. Nice job. We hope you get the documents, and we hope that Google stops hacking the results in favor of their candidates. So here is another letter. This one came over.
You can use Brave as long you could turn off the Google suggestions in Brave. It's actually gotten a lot better since it's added its AI search to it.
They say, all right, we're also concerned about your AI assistant. We plugged into this AI assistant on Facebook, and you claim
In the settings, you could just turn off the note that you don't get suggestions from Google.
And you can't claim that it was just old, okay, because your AI bot had plenty to say about Kamala Harris and her run for the White House. So they know that she's running, which means it's current enough. When asked if the assassination of Trump was fictional, Meta's bot responded that there was no real assassination attempt on Trump. The bot said, I
Damn,
tried to
yes,
provide
so
accurate and reliable
expensive.
information, you know, but sometimes information
Just went over $40
The bot
for
further
fucking
said,
12
"Confirm,
gallons.
though, there have been no credible reports or evidence of a successful or attempted assassination of Trump." Meta has subsequently explained it configured its bot
Lycos.
to avoid answering questions about the Trump rally shooting. Why? Because they don't want to distribute false information. By distributing false information? Huh? Oh? But the tool still ended
You
up
don't use Ask Jeeves? Ask Jeeves?
VP Joel to avoid, it was done to avoid providing incorrect information. It was programmed not to answer questions about it. But as noted in a Meta blog post, a small number of cases.
I don't live in the fifth circuit, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know what circuit I live in.
Blog post. And they said, well,
We're gonna cut through the neighborhood and avoid that light.
Applied a fact check label to an authentic photo of Trump with a pistol. Meta said
Back goes. Go get it. No, ask
Jeeves.
Jeeves.
Now, while the committee appreciates Meta's explanations and efforts to resolve this, we're concerned, especially against the backdrop of an alarming pattern of other speech suppression and other censorship review. We've long been concerned about how you rig all this. For instance, you confirmed that you censored the Hunter Biden laptop story. 17% of people would have changed their vote. That's a lot. Following
Same thing with Brave. Only thing is DuckDuckGo sells your info now. They've admitted it.
Tell us about how it's designed and trained. And give us some information on this sign.
Brave hasn't been caught doing it yet.
Give us that so that we can. Now, this is more on that story we covered yesterday about this Google glitch. Weird how these glitches and these problems always happen to favor one side. It's never the Republicans.
Axios reporting the campaign is giving real news articles a pro-Kamala Harris spin and then using them in Google ads. Martha McCall has been looking at this, and she joins us now. Good morning to you. Welcome back.
Morning,
Nice to
Bill.
see you.
Great to see you.
Come on, Martha. Tell us the scoops.
Save that for a moment. So
Save that for a moment. Ooh, he's getting frisky.
And we'll reframe the headline so that when you're searching, maybe you see the spot, you read the headline, but maybe you don't understand that it's actually sponsored by the campaign. Show it, guys. Here we go. So this involved what? They cited CNN, NPR, Reuters, Associated Press, The Guardian, a lot. and you would see this as you were going through your internet search, and well, that's cheap.
Wow, it is. Yeah, this is really, and I should also point out that Google says that there was a glitch in their system.
Of course, it's always a glitch.
Some of the sort of barriers that they try to put in to make it clear what this is weren't working.
Mhm.
Oops.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was
The
just
oops
more-
has only happened in one direction, though.
I don't know that yet, but they said they're looking into that. But just as an example, so this is a Guardian headline. VP Harris fights abortion bans. Harris defends reproductive freedom. Well, those things are true. That's a factual statement. That's something that she backs and supports. But then they have a description under the headline. So how there's a headline when you read a news story, then there's an under headline that you read in the news
Yeah,
story. But
you
it
can
says, VP Harris is a
donate
champion
crypto
for
and stuff like that on
Trump's
with Brave.
So
You
the
can actually
second
put in
one,
someone's
in what looks like a news story,
as you build up
is actually a
points, you can,
campaign slogan, a campaign statement.
hang on.
And people,
I got a merge.
we all look at so much information, take
Got a merge here.
information quickly throughout
There's
the
all
day,
these
right?
bells.
This is very subtle, very manipulative, and in a moment when you also have a stepped-up threat from Iran trying to get their bots into all of this and influence people in ways that are very subtle and difficult to
Yeah.
figure out. This is something
Once
that
you
I think
connect it to your
part of
wallet,
why
you can
people who are looking for this information.
And Google says it's
donate to even
Yeah, Google says one of those
creators and stuff like that.
more disclosure that this is an
What's his name kept trying to have me send my bits to him.
Anyways, Kamala,
Mr. Albuquerque.
and they're using the big tech companies to do it. And big tech companies have a history of cheating for them, suppressing stories that would be damaging to them, donating hundreds of millions of dollars in support of their efforts. So why would anything change this cycle? It's not going to. All right, we got one final story on the day, my friends.
Remember when you could download the little people that walked around your screen? It was quote unquote free, but it was installing malwares.
The State Department dropping all sorts of.
I thought it was so neat. The little guy climbing around on my icons.
It's actually been in a lot of problematic affairs, to say the least. Here's what the New York Times is reporting. And the New York Times, as we know, get leaks from the deep state
Weather wallet,
all the time. So why is this being published now?
a weatherproof wallet.
Very curious questions. This came from Kenneth Vogel. He says, Hunter Biden, sought assistance from the U.S. government for a lucrative energy project in Italy. With Tim Walzer, of course, while his father was vice president.
A poison wallet?
Release records and interviews. Where these records come from all of a sudden. The records, which Biden administration had withheld for years, indicate that Hunter wrote at least one letter to the U.S. ambassador to Italy in 2016 seeking assistance for the Ukrainian gas company called Burisma. He was a board member getting paid $1 million. Embassy officials appear to have been uneasy with the request from the son of.
Man, these wings smell so good.
On behalf of
I'm 15 minutes from home, apparently.
I want to be careful about promising too much, Hunter, a Commerce Department official based in the embassy in Rome. He says this is.
I'm making it home at 7:10. Holy crap.
The U.S. government should not be actively advocating with the government of Italy without the company going through the DOC Advocacy Center, the official wrote. Those acronyms refer to the U.S. government and the Department of Commerce program that supports American companies that see businesses with foreign governments. Now, Abby Lowell, Hunter's lawyer, said his client asked various people, including Ambassador to Italy at the time, John R. Phillips,
You can get on the freeway there now.
And the president of
You used to not be able to.
No
The freeway was working now there.
Project ever started, and so everything was proper, says the lawyer. Now, the State Department did not release the actual text of the letter. Why would they? A White House spokesman said the president.
I don't carry a wallet anymore. I got a knockoff Widge. I got a knockoff Widge wallet.
The president's son is like contacting the official.
It's got the ROF protection on it.
What? The department's released, so he's like acting out of pocket, right? He's like, my dad's the vice president. Yeah, but this is not official. You know, he's the vice president. The department's release of documents to the New York Times, why are they dropping it now? Came shortly after Biden.
You need some saddle soap for your wallet.
And his son prepares to stand trial. So they kept all these documents, and Joe Biden was still running. These documents were clearly continuing in the dark. Hunter Biden has not been charged with violating FARA, which requires people to disclose when they lobby the U.S. government on behalf of foreign interests, like when Hunter is lobbying the U.S. Embassy on behalf of a Ukrainian company. In the court filing last week that we've talked about, it was perceived as pressure. Prosecutors indicated they do not intend to add a FARA charge, but noted that they had evidence that he did reach out to the State Department on behalf of a foreign client, another real estate magnate facing charges of corruption in Romania. Biden did not register in the
Just feel like you'll sweep.
either for that. No charges for him. His outreach to the embassy in Rome on behalf of a private company, which is kind of a state energy company, on behalf of who's acting on behalf of them, reaching out to the U.S. government, had not been previously reported. Echoes other episodes for which he's been criticized for leveraging his daddy's clout to gain advantages in his foreign business. The embassy outreach was revealed in emails released by the State Department to the New York Times in response to a request for info. One of the officials named in the request had worked for the State Department in Italy before being assigned in Romania. Now, the request was initially filed under a FOIA request. After nearly 8 months, the State Department had not released any records, and so the Times sued. About 18 months later, the department moved to close the case after releasing thousands of pages of records, but none of which shed any light on Biden's outreach to the government. So they do a dump. And the Times said, no, we know there's something here, noting that the department had failed to produce responsive records contained in another cache of files connected to a laptop that Hunter had abandoned in the Delaware shop. Now, the department resumed the search. They said, we got emails. We know that this was communicated somehow. Show us the other half. The department, which is good reporting, it's good digging. They actually did this. I have my doubts. It's probably the CIA's like, hey, look at this. But the department resumed the search and periodic productions, but had produced few documents related to Biden, right? Then, after Biden leaves, documents come out until the week after his father ended his re-election campaign. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, yeah, there's that one drawer. A State Department spokeswoman suggested that the was just coincidental, noting that the department had released batches of documents in each of the last.
I see him live every once in a while.
A person familiar with the timings of the release of
it's too hard to talk like North Star. I'm done.
He's going to drop out. State Department.
Slow into these things. Got to bring the bass back. I'm about to talk to the wife.
Public servants, not political appointees, all making it so that this was not being timed, if you believe it. Okay, if Joe Biden was the
Waterville, White House, 10 minutes from home.
James Comer says, you know what, this is, I think, the biggest political corruption scandal in our history's lifetime. He's a Kentucky Republican. Totally vindicated in all of this. A Burisma official did not respond to a request for comment. The businessman involved in the project said the outreach was undertaken at the request of Burisma. Now, the difficulty of all this is reflected in the emails. Eric Sherwin said, Burisma is hoping that some of its executives can get a meeting with the president to discuss their geothermal business in Tuscany. Wow. Burisma is hoping they can get a meeting with the president, which would have been, at that time, Obama, right? The ambassador already replied to one letter from Mr. Biden, the Commerce Department official. He may be shopping for more support than he got here, they said. While Mr. Biden's letter to the ambassador is referred to in the correspondence, the Times was unable to review its contents because the State Department appears to have redacted it in its entirety. Wow. What a joke of a government. The department cited exemptions allowing the withholding of records for an individual's privacy. In the interview, Mr. Phillips said he did not remember Mr. Biden writing anything about Burisma. So I got a lot of letters. He says, if Mr. Biden had written it, I certainly would pay attention to it. Out of courtesy, I'd probably make a response. But
she would be.
And I wouldn't
like,
want to.
Did you smoke before you came home?
It's so inappropriate. He tried to avoid any implication of special treatments. Tuscany is known for access to geothermal power. It's not clear whether the U.S. Embassy went to bat for Burisma or not, but the project fizzled. So all of it has, of course, now come out. They're busted. The White House got asked about some of this. Would you pardon Hunter? Was one question.
Also, to know, you said from the podium that President Biden would not pardon. If Vice President Harris is elected, would he tell her also to not pardon? I think that's a hypothetical. But
Yeah,
President,
that's why she asked him.
And he said he would not pardon his son. And I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that will change after he gets convicted again. And so the White House is now saying stuff like this, like, no, he just they never did
Sit that
business
curve
together.
there, buddy.
Remember how this worked? So it was like, oh, he never knew anything. Then he's like, oh, he definitely knew. He definitely knew. Because he was at the meetings. Oh, when he was at the meetings, they didn't discuss it. Right? No, they were talking about the weather. And now it's gone to actually they didn't do business together. It's like, well, no, they never signed like a formal contract or anything. So it's like, what's your problem?
The New York Times is reporting that Hunter Biden sought help from a U.S. ambassador on behalf of Burisma while he was on the company's board and while Biden was vice president. So what's Biden's reaction to this, and is he concerned about what this looks like to the American public?
So I'll just report what I've said before, is that the president has never done business with his son, and he was not aware of this. And for anything further, I would have to refer you to Hunter Biden's personal representatives. I can't speak.
And you said Midwest.
But again, I've said this before. The president was not in business with his son, and this is the first time. He's
Pretty dark.
He was not aware of this. And for anything further, you have to reach out to Biden.
All right, so that's it. That's what we get. No idea, not aware of anything. And Joe Biden is now also screaming at the press. Why don't you write about other things? Okay, CBS or C-SPAN was flipping this.
Here, I got one for you.
About inflation. He says it's amazing. Shut up. Write about it.
Yes. I told you we're gonna have a soft landing. We're gonna have a soft landing. My policies are working. Start writing that way. Okay. Anyway, thank you.
Yikes. That's Joe Biden. Not real happy about what's happening in the press, I guess. And so that's what we've got on the day, my friends. We covered 3 good segments today. Talked about the acting Secret Service Director, Ronald Rowe. We talked about the Judge Juan Merchan, the gag order continuing on in New York. We talked about Hunter Biden and his backstabbing from his own government. The enablers who got him to where he is are now turning on him since his daddy's not in charge anymore. And the censorship operation from Google and Facebook continues. Congress is looking into it. Hopefully they can stop it before the election occurs, because it's like putting pressure on the scale in order to rig the election in their favor. Now it's time to hear from you. Let's see what you say about this, my friends. Thanks for joining us on this amazing Wednesday. It's been a beautiful day, and we're grateful to hear from you. Let's see who's joining us in the house. Donut is clipping for us. Thank you, Donut. Donut Mind Me is sharing this one over from Locals. What's up, Pamela Blue? Pamela says,
all right, here we go. I don't know if I can play it while I'm going down the road here. Oh, no volume? What the fuck? Why is it muted? Oh. No volume. That sucks. Let's see if I can find it. The person who sent it to me, let me see if it had volume when I downloaded it. Here we go. Scoopy. All right. I can be mad at whatever I want to be mad at. I have some trimming to do. You should see the way how low these branches are hanging in my driveway. I won't turn it around this time. We're in good company here. And honestly, if you know my name, you can find the address. Come meet my German Shepherds. I'm gonna back in, but how low hanging these branches are. As I back in. Trim your bush, Doc. That is a maple tree. It's a little bendy. It's not as big as the giant oak in the back, but do a load. Do your load. All right, guys. Thanks for riding with me. Thanks for hanging out. Love the chat. It was hilarious. Peace, motherfuckers.